Quiz time!
Welcome to the first Lunchin with Lisa of 2021. I wish I had some horns and streamers and stuff. Because it ain't just New Year's, it's like a new year for Lunchin with Lisa. So welcome. I'm excited. It seems like I've been gone forever, but I got some much needed rest. Actually, I'm still on vacation until Monday. But Luncheon with Lisa still must go on, right? The show must go on. So I wanted to kick off this show, the first show of the year, with something that's going to be helpful to get us through every show, every day going forward. So I decided to bring some guests on here who would definitely help us to get that going. But first, before I do that, I wanted to do what we used to do last year, is do a little just because moment. So in honor of the day and the what we're talking about, the topic, I wanted to do a quick shout out just because moment to Grace, who is the founder of and she does this Aravista planner. So I kicked off my year with my team. I gifted them the Aravista planner, and we kicked off our first meeting of the year using these planners. It is fabulous. You all need to check this planner out. They come in three or four different colors, pink, purple, and blue, cobalt blue. So we kicked off the year with this. This is perfect. Thank you so much, Grace. You all need to check Grace out. I am a brand ambassador for her for this, because this planner is everything. So you all need to get your planners. With that being said, I have one more surprise. Now, I've been talking about this for the last couple of days, but I'm really excited about it because it was a lifelong dream I wanted to do, and I had a plan, but this is kind of proof that God had bigger plans for this project. But I wanted to tell you all that the book came in the mail today, and it's the When Gigi Meets Cam book. I am so excited about this book. I mean, I don't care. Look, you know how you go back especially when you do this kind of stuff, you go back and you check for, where did I mess up? What did I not do? I don't even care. Okay, this is beautiful. But I am so excited. We're planning a book launch event. I will say that the man of the hour, the man of the book, will be there. Kind of, my plan is that he leads us through the event, but we'll see how long that lasts. So we're encouraging grandparents and parents to bring, their grandbabies and kids. And once they get bored with what's going on, we'll have a discussion about the book. So that's in the works. It will probably be at Cam's place. So I'm excited about, doing that. It's going to be virtual, of course. So that's coming, but thank you all who have supported and bought either the ebook or the hard copy. This was a huge deal for me. It's been a long time coming, but I absolutely love it and have already started working on the second book of the series. So Cam Capers is the children's book series, and this is the first book. I will give you a hint that the next book is going to be Big Cam, Little Cam. And I'm going to be actually talking about the role of an uncle, because rarely do we talk about uncles. So I'm going to highlight the uncles a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to go into introducing my wonderful guests, and we're going to talk about how we're going to help you to get your year in order. So first, I want to introduce Tawawn Lowe. Tawawn Lowe is the CEO of TL Enterprises. She's a woman and minority-owned, multifaceted company based in Maryland that provides consulting, coaching, mentorship, and training services services, can't get my words together, to organizations and individuals, and an umbrella for consultancy and the Women Walking in Their Own Shoes movement. Tawawn is an author, certified life coach, and facilitator, Myers-Briggs indicator type practitioner, speaker, one out of 250 certified vision board coaches, instructors nationwide, and creator of the Achieve Big Now Academy. She has blended her Bachelor of Science, Behavioral Studies degree, various certified credentials, and over 30 plus years of professional experience to assist organizations with communicating their vision and expanding and leveraging their talent management and individual potential, transforming visions into goals and to achieve results and success. In 2012 of October, TLE expanded their mission and launched the movement Women Walking in Their Own Shoes. The movement is a clarion call to women globally to say yes, giving themselves permission to become their best selves, create their best lives, and achieve success on their own terms, walking in your own shoes. Tawann's goal is simple: to help others take charge of their destiny. So welcome Tawawn to Lunchin with Lisa, the very first episode of 2021. Hello. And I also want to welcome Michelle Boulden Hammond, who is a multi-talented woman that handles her faith, marriage, business, and professional relationships with the power of inspirations. Michelle is an author, life coach, and entrepreneur. Her charismatic personality has the power that gives individuals influence to move beyond their now in mind, body, and soul. A woman who has faced obstacles with birth defects, rejection, and abuse, but has shown others that your pain is your gain. She has traveled nationally and internationally, hosting seminars and conferences. Her latest work can be found weekly as a podcast host for Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul on various national outlets. She has received numerous awards and recognition for her humanitarian efforts, and she is a Maryland native who resides with her husband of 25 years and children. I want you to welcome Michelle to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I am excited. Hello, Jennifer. Dr. Jennifer is in the house. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I want to actually start with these ladies. They have all of the know-how. I will tell you this. I got two things to share. Tawawn, I have done her vision board parties, and they are amazing. When I went to her vision board parties, that's where I kind of learned that it's not just about putting pictures on a page. And I will tell you that I did a vision board with Tawawn, and I still have it. Yes, I do. It sits on my wall. And I do refer to this. It's an iShot. So when I'm here, it's there. So I'm telling you that these vision boards are, if you use them correctly and you do them correctly, they really do motivate you. And I will share with you with Michelle. Michelle has joined the Dove Style Magazine team, but in addition to that, because of the vision board experience she has, we are actually doing this month with the team. We're doing a team vision board experience virtually. So that is going to be amazing. I have experienced Michelle doing one with another team, and it was phenomenal. So I'm excited. I know these two ladies know what they're talking about. So we're going to go right into it. And I want both of you to kind of explain, because I think there is some misconception about what a vision board experience is, what a vision board party is. So y'all help us out. So I'll start with Michelle and then move to Tawawn. What is a vision board experience or party? Because I think people are confused.
Hey, you said it. You said the right thing. People are confused. We just think, oh, I'll take these pictures out and it's just going to work like that. No, you got to put in the work. But there's a difference between a vision and a goal, because most people say, I'm putting this on to be a goal. But no, it is not. A vision is not the same as a goal, because as your goal comes from the head, what you got to see is further than what's coming out of your head.
Okay. I like that. And Tawawn, how would you define a vision board experience or party, or what we're really doing here?
Well, a vision board party is actually a gathering. People get together have some food, sip on something. They flip through some magazines, they take out pictures, and they place them on the board, and they say, these are the things that I want. The vision board experience, from the way I teach it, and it sounds like from the way Michelle teaches it as well, is something that you've given some thought to, and you have come together to put down the vision that you have for your life or your business. You want to bring it from your mind, and you want to bring it to paper, and you're going to use pictures and words to represent those things that you desire and the vision that you have for your life. So a vision board party is just what it says. It's a party with actually no objective to teach you nothing and get you nowhere. But the vision board experience, and that's why I call mine a master class, Michelle, because I'm teaching you about the importance of having a vision for your life,
Right.
and how to use a vision board as a success tool. And there's a difference with that. So I think that's how I would define the difference.
Absolutely. So tell me, for instance, if we, and I've been to actually both of your vision board experiences, I've been to both. So tell me how you start things off, because I think when people come in the door, when they come to your events, they've experienced those vision board parties. So they already have in their mind what they're going to do, what it's about, and how this rolls. So talk a little bit about how once they get into the room with you, and Michelle, I do want you to actually talk a little bit to the team thing, because I think that's a whole nother
Whole different
experience that is really cool. But share a little bit about what is the difference when they get into a room with you with what they expected coming in the door.
So with me as the team portion of it, I actually, as we did for what's coming up for us for the team next week, I actually made them do a little bit of critical thinking on,
Okay.
and for you to come together as a team to build on this. What are we doing for our purpose and moving forward in 2021? So basically, from the team perspective, I actually have them do a little work, creative work. But then you see how it all pulled together once we all work with that one objective, one of that. Just then you actually can clearly see, as you, the visionary, what everyone's thinking. So
Right.
that's how what I do as the team portion of it.
Well, and that's why I like the team thing, because it's not just about you. It's about everybody collectively. So I can come to the table with an idea of what I envision, but then I get to see what other people on the team are thinking.
Right.
And then we can make adjustments right then and there, so everybody's on the same page before we walk away. So I really love that. But Tawawn, with your experience, because I know that's when I really kind of experienced something different than just your typical vision board party. So tell a little bit about how yours is actually a little different.
Well, first with mine, once you register, you start getting a series of emails that's preparing you and giving you some homework to do prior to even coming to the event. And it's telling you the 5 things that you really need to do prior to. And I'm always asking people to reflect over their last year or the last 90 days or wherever you are. What is it that you want to change? What is it that you want to achieve? And what do you want to do differently? I also have people, when you come to mine, I'm very clear about people understanding the importance of having a vision for their life, and how this vision board is about the vision for your life or your business, whichever way you're coming from. And then also, the most important thing I think it is, I do an exercise where it helps individuals to tie their core values, understanding how their core values is tied to their vision. Because most of the time, let's think about it. It's the new year. We're on the 7th day. Most people ain't even thinking about whatever the resolutions or whatever vision they had then. And most of the time, they don't follow through because it's not tied to what's important to them. And most people say, my vision board don't work. Well, you know why your vision board didn't work? It wasn't tied to what is important to you. Me going to a vision board party and saying I want a Maserati, is a Maserati really important to me?
Right.
People go and they make vision boards like a wish list. And I'm not saying that it cannot be,
there you
because
go.
there are different types. However, what I teach is how to use it as a success tool. And when you're using it as a success tool, you're not coming making all these fantastic wishes, like a genie in a bottle, and I want all these things. And then when you leave, you go put it in the trunk of your car and don't even look at it ever again. So for me, because that's what happens when people go to vision board
Well,
parties.
I was getting ready to say that, because a lot of times we do this and it's nice and pretty and we have all these wonderful things on it, and then we don't never see it again. We got to go look for it.
Go look for it, or you throw it in the trash because you're like, oh, this stuff don't work. And Yeah, so for me, I think it's just making sure you understand the importance of having a vision, tying it to what's important to you and your core values and helping you connect that, and then doing that part that most people don't do, telling you how to set goals to go with it. Because you can have the
Right.
vision, but if you don't have no goals, it don't mean nothing. And
Right.
that's the difference.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna go back towards Michelle. So with that being said, what Tawawn just said with the goals. So how do you get them to change that mindset? Because most people are not thinking that way. So you got to kind of push them in that direction. Because I mean, for real, they are going for the thing. And they're not thinking about the steps that get them to that. And I know with Tawan's, she does some exercises that make you really think about, okay,
Right.
so wait a minute, because then you start to realize, okay, well, maybe that wasn't my goal, but you've been envisioning this for years. I want, and you realize that's not even one of the goals I really want. So Michelle, share a little bit about how you get them in the right mindset so they can make this, purposeful.
So with me, as you said too, you make give a little strategic, you give a little list with that because as Tawan said, I send out information on again to make this goal become perfect. Like one of the questions, I don't want to put it out till the team see
Right,
it.
right.
Like one of the questions that I ask is making you think, what
Mhm.
am I investing myself to? Am I affirmation? Am I this joy? Am I this am I speaking this light? So, as I say, you write the vision, you make it plain, but then you go and run with it. You put it on the tablets. But here's the thing, you got to still put in some action to it. So you look past what you have done the year prior to this. Is this the same old thing? Well, maybe this is not working. We need to work
Mhm.
on some strategic planning on what it is that you specific. What is the purpose? What you put on your vision board should be your purpose for that year,
Okay.
whether it's your business, your life, whatever setting that you're trying to reach it. It can be, like you said, short-term goals. You need to make sure short-term, long-term. I'm just not gonna go out here and buy a $300,000 home and knowing that I right now what's going on with me with my finances. Well, we need to exit that
Right.
out. So those are the things. That's how I do with things and when I do it in a team, individually like that.
Right. And Tawan, I want to lead into because what you do too, and it's kind of hitting on that, is you actually have, vision boards that are, some of them are for business, some of them are personal, some of them are, they're different. So how do you get people to understand? Because I think I didn't in the beginning, years and years ago, I didn't realize that when you're doing a vision board, I really thought of one vision board. That was where I was. I didn't realize that there were several that you could do to focus and, like Michelle said, kind of break it down so that you don't just have this huge goal that I want to get in this big home and then that's all you got. Okay, so what you gonna do in the meantime? Because that's 20 years down the road. So what you gonna do
Right.
right now? So, Tawan, a little bit about how, because I learned a lot from that. So this one I showed you was actually a personal vision board.
First board, right? Right. So when I did my first vision board, I didn't do it where I wanted things. It really was a healing board for me. I was coming out of my divorce, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I wanted to. I knew in my mind I wanted to be better. I did not want to be bitter. So I made. That's how my vision board was made. It was made. It had a heart. I wish I had it somewhere to show it to you, but it had a heart on it. The heart was broken, and I had bitter at the top and better at the bottom. And then I was like, this sugar honey iced tea don't work. I've been looking at this thing, and I wasn't bitter, but I was like, I don't feel like I'm getting that much better. And then one day it was just laying on the floor. You throw it on the floor, and it was upside down. I was looking at it, and I said, I see why this didn't work. So I made
Okay.
another one, but from that time forth, I got really interested in vision boards and truly understand the power of them and how to use it as a motivational tool. And I realized that you can have vision boards for different things. And so when I started getting more into teaching about it, I started talking about how you can have one for your business, how you can have
Mm-hmm.
one if you need to heal, when you're grieving, coming through a divorce, whatever it is. And then you should, of course, have a wish one where all the things that you would like to have in life. And then I think you should
Right.
have a focus board. These are the things that I'm focused on this year, this 90 days, or however you chunk and do your goals, work towards your goals. But that's how I came about that you should have different ones. And like Michelle, now I'm teaching this with organizations. So I definitely had to change it up and do, because I can't go in there and say you can have a healing board unless they are an organization in trouble and they need really to do some
Even
healing.
though, wait a minute. Well, let's be real though. You could probably use a healing board in some of these offices and businesses and teams, because these teams need some healing too. So
If they can really come together and want to be healed, yes. But
right.
even with doing it in organizations, just having a focus board, letting management have their vision and letting employees have their vision, then bringing it all together and see how can we mesh the visions together to get the end result that is definitely desired. So there is no one, to me, one type of vision board. There are different types. And plus people, we're even doing one or two things. We're trying to achieve something or change something.
Okay.
And even in changing something, to achieve something. So what is your board about? Something you want to change or something you want to achieve? Okay. And that will determine what type of board you have too. Because if I want to change something in me, I have a mindset board. If you see behind me, you see all my vision boards on this wall. I got 1,000 of them. They're not 1,000 on my wall, but those are significant to me. And I have a mindset board, and I have that mindset board because when I feel like I can't do, when I'm just feeling like I've been kicked enough, I come and I look at it and I look at those words that are on there and I read the words, and it's all words really. There's no pictures but me, and it's words. And I say those words to myself and I look at them, and it starts to do something within me and help rise. It motivates me and encourages me and it reminds me what I'm here to do, and whatever it is, it's just temporary. Get over it, So
absolutely. And that's what I learned from because I did this at one of your vision board parties, but I wanted to show this again because really the only picture on here is me, because this was actually a personal vision board party. But then I actually had to deal with some things. So it was like I'm kicking in, like at the top I put I'm kicking excuses to the curb. I'm trying to get this in frame. But kicking excuses to the curb, because that was one of my, I always had excuses why I wouldn't do something, procrastinating, those kind of things. So this just addressed me as a person. And I have to do these reminders at times. So the other thing I learned from having a vision board experience was to put this somewhere where I can, like you said, you go back to yours and look. I put it somewhere where it's an eyesight. I will share that Tawawn shared a cool little way. Michelle probably has, I think Michelle did something for the whole team that we could all save and do, but she actually encouraged us to put it on our phone, because we all are really excited about what we put on our backdrop on our phone. And I thought that was the coolest way to just put that right in your face. I mean, talk about being right in your face. We always on our phone.
Right.
So and that's just one of those ideas on where you can put it, because after you do this vision board, a lot of these vision boards end up in the trunk or in the closet or underneath all the books that you don't read either, all of that. So tell us a little bit about how you keep these vision boards real to the moment, like what I'm saying, like, okay, you went to the experience, you did whatever, so what are some tips and things you give to people to tell them, okay, you need to keep looking at this, this needs to be a reminder, because I think that's the importance of what you put on this board, because if you putting something on it, like Tawawn said, it's not connected, you're not going to look at it anyway.
Right.
So Tawawn,
I know one of the components in my curriculum talks about the power of visualization. You have to use visualization. Visioning is part of the process. If you're not going to look at it and you're not going to let it be a reminder to you, then you really just did all that work in vain, because that's really what it is. It's a picture of the things that you desire, and you have to look at the picture to see it. So I always encourage people, look at the vision board before you go to bed. Look at it in the morning. Think about it, meditate on it, include it in your prayer when you're doing it. Of course, put it somewhere where you can see it. I tell people, put it at your job, at your desk. Make it one of your pictures at your desk. Nobody needs to see your husband and your children and the dog. That ain't their business. Let them see that you got goals and aspirations and what you're trying to do with your life. Let them see that and have that up, You know, so I tell people always put it in the place where you can have it. I put mine on the phone because my business is attached to my phone. I
Right.
get phone calls on my phone. I put my children on the phone. So when I go, what do I see? My vision board. And I'm gonna tell you, one day I went to open my phone. I said, I don't think I've been working on that thing right there. That thing right there in that corner. So it was a reminder. I was working
Yeah.
on some other things, but it was this one little piece that I had left out. And I was like, let me go back. And I pulled out the whole vision board and looked at it. And when I realized, which is very important, when I was mapping things out, I forgot to map out that piece. So I had nothing to follow. I could see it, but I didn't have anything to follow. So I didn't have anything to guide me to say, hey,
Okay.
next step is you do A, B, C, D, and E. I ain't do nothing but put that thing on the vision board. And I'm telling you, I was looking at the phone like, oh man, gee, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. But you know,
Right.
sometimes you got a lot going on and you got a lot of balls in the air. Something does not come through, and that's why it's important. One of the things Michelle said, write the vision, make it plain. People lose sight. They want to write it, but they forget you got to have a vision. And I tell people, even though you got a vision board, you still got to write it. Okay, so they go hand in hand. So
absolutely.
that's how
and then Michelle actually speaks to the action of it too. So you know, you like, hey, you can write all of this and think all kind of wonderful things, but if you ain't trying to move,
you ain't trying to move it, it's not going anywhere. It's just gonna be a piece of paper. It's just a piece of flat paper. But you know, one of the things that Tawana, you said that I wanted to share in too, what makes a difference too, you got to make sure, even in your vision board parties, you know, with sometime one of the mechanisms that I did by the water. One year I did it, by the water, and got some like-minded individuals, and I had people switch up who they came with, because you know, hearing from somebody else, it might make a difference too. I had people switch up in the group. You know, when you do the group thing, I say, look, move from where you at, find another partner. And, you know, I told them go around the table, and they moved. And that makes a whole different day, because if you with the ones that you know used to, oh, well, you know, you said you wanted to do that. But really, to hear from somebody else's perspective to push you, that can make a whole lot of difference as well.
Oh, look, Tawawn did the same thing. And I thought it was so cool. She sat you at tables with, like, I came in with my cousin, but my cousin was at another table with some other folks. And I think that was a good move, because she opened up on some things that I think, you know, either she assumed that I knew, or we kind of talked about it on a comfortable level. And sometimes these experiences, and you know what the clue was, sometimes you sit in these experiences and you know that it's something good when it makes you it gets uncomfortable. And one thing I experienced at Division, but when it starts to get uncomfortable, that means you're tapping into something. You're not just doing this, you know, just kind of as a ritual, so to speak, because it's fun and something to do. This is really work.
Right.
And that's why I admire what people do with vision boards, and that you all really get to the nitty-gritty of what a vision board really is and how to use it. I think, you know, a lot of people have gotten into the getting together part of it, but not about how to use the vision board, which I did. And it was like, okay, when you really do it the right way, then when you go back and look at it, it's going to be useful, because it was definitely connected to what you're trying to do. So what I'm going to do real quick, and then we're going to come back and continue this conversation, is we're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll come right back.
All right.
Okay, welcome back. So I wanted to ask you all, and we think of vision boards as not being hard or anything like that. I think we touched a little bit on where it can become difficult. But so what are some experiences you had with vision board experiences, or people you had? What was some of the more challenging experiences when doing these vision boards, whether it was a team or individual vision board experiences? What were some challenging things? Because I know they all aren't just easy, and everybody's just like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I'm gonna do that. Okay, you know, sometimes people come in ready to fight a little bit about, I ain't ready to go there, I'm not ready to deal with that. So what are some things that you've, kind of approached, and how did you get through some of those challenges?
So I will tell you from an individual one that I had, and they say your family can be the worst. They were like, oh, I know I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. But I actually made this family member go to another party with another person, and this actually was an art and vision boarding mixture where there was a woman, but you had to speak what was coming out. You had to like write these affirmation words to come out what the woman was speaking. So, and it was so funny because the night before we had went to that, I said, oh, well, I got a free ticket, but it actually changed her mindset because she really was given a hard time in the one that I did,
Okay.
I went to this one. I said, you got to speak positive things. So it actually had this painting, you painted it, and then you had to go find inspirational words or whatever you wanted to speak in existence, to speak life into yourself. So it made her think about it, and she actually apologized.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, she apologized. Yeah. It made she said, I don't know why I was giving you such a hard time. And I know people go through things as well. I mean, it can be, as you said, it was a personal one, but it probably was something bringing up some triggers, which, and I know this individual has. So you got to take that in a mindset too. You got, when you really doing these vision boards, it can really be, that's why I always try to have someone therapeutic, someone from clinical side. Even when we do these at the retreats that I do, I try to have someone, because you can conjure up and bring up some things with that. So always be mindful of that as well. Once you're doing this, it might get a little personal, but I always try to have someone on clinical side when I do these.
Wonderful. So, Tawawn, do you have an experience or two that maybe kind of challenged you a little bit, like Michelle?
Yes, and I want to just kind of piggyback on the last part that Michelle says. One of the things I try to do, I always pay attention to the energy and everything that's going on in the room. And if I feel the need, I always do a check-in to make sure I leave nobody open. Because when you are doing this, and if you're doing it correctly, you can really open up some things. Because I do challenge people with questions to make them think. So you do have to make sure that you don't get anybody open and they go out here and they feel in some kind of way, and you didn't do your due diligence to make sure you try to at least close them a little bit. So yes, you're correct. You definitely need to have somebody. But my first corporate client, one of the things I was offering was, because they had a little discord going on in the organization, and it was a small group. And I was like, we can kind of bring this. And I was like, we're going to do something fun. I said, should do a vision board manager. Vision board? That is nothing for organization. I mean, if you could see all the attitude I got, I said, well, this is the way that you can really learn about your employees. This is how you can learn about what they're interested in. You can see where they want to go professionally, because I wasn't going to have it where they were just doing about their personal life. This was about their professional career and their dreams and aspirations of where they wanted to go. So it can give you some insight. Maybe you can see where everybody needs help. And she was just so Lord, she was so too. And I said, well, can you do me a favor? Can you trust me on this? And if this feels like something you don't really want to participate as the manager, let your team do it. Let me bring it back to you and tell you the things that came out of this and show it to you, and then maybe we can move forward. When it was over and done with, she first was like, oh my God, my team was like, this was the best retreat they've ever had. Why haven't we been doing this thus far? And they loved the vision board part, and they started talking about, because of course I was like, y'all need to develop your IDPs from this. And it was like, oh, she was like, you really got them thinking. And then she said, I had no idea that I had a person who was interested in IT and most of our issues that we're having in IT.
Really?
Wow. Got to be open to the idea. Stop thinking that everything is true. Don't trivialize everything because you don't know how to utilize it. That's why I'm here. I'm the professional. Now, you know our good girlfriend, Gail Crowder. Now, you know Gail. And when she came to my first one, she was like this. I'm just here to support my girl, Tawawn. I'm not going to do anything. And la, 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 la. And I was like, okay, we're going to do this meditation exercise. And I want you to close your eyes and do this. And she said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the exercise because I'm going to participate because I've come all this way. And she said, when it was over, I got way more out of this. She said, I never in my life had anybody do this. She said the meditation exercise, even the songs you played to make us think and where it put us. And then when you talking about having my power word, I never thought about a power. She was like, I got way more than what I thought. She says, I was fighting you. I'm just here to support my girl. I'm just here to support. I ain't doing all this. But she has come to just about every vision board master class since then. And if she has not come, we have done one-on-one because she was like, I have seen the benefit and I got it. But when I tell y'all, she was like this, I'm just here to support my girl. I'm gonna be good. It was just fun.
And I would, to speak to that though, I mean, when I first went to yours, I mean, I thought it was something that, okay, I was like, let me see how this works, but I had never gone to one. So I really kind of thought it was, okay, well, I really did think you put some things on a piece of paper and, I've always liked art. So I'm just like, this will be cute and I can do whatever. But as I started to listen to what you're saying, and I'm going to touch on what you mentioned, was that if you just open yourself enough to trust that it might work. If you just do that one thing, I think people will be amazed what can happen, because I actually enjoyed it, but on a deeper level. It was like, oh, so this is really getting into the vision, and it forces people to think about what they want out of life. And a lot of times people don't want to think about that because that's too deep. It's like, I ain't even think about what I'm doing this evening. I don't even know what I want for dinner. And you got me trying to think about what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's a lot. But I mean, there's a plus to all of this. And it was that people kind of trivialize the whole process. But I think that's because they don't know what it is. And both of you all, the experiences that I've had, it's really an experience. But I was open to it. So, what kind of things, let me ask this, what kind of things, and Michelle, I'll throw this at you first. What kind of things do you do to maybe, like Tawawn mentioned with that particular situation, do you do to open people up? Because remember you said they were kind of difficult. So are there some techniques you use or try to let people know to be open to it? Because really it's trusting, just try to trust the process.
Right. So you're right. So what I would do is explain I explain the procedures, whatever we do, but I always open up with an icebreaker. So there is an exercise, just to get people grooving and move. And then, as Tawawn said, as that is going around, I am actually looking at the energy then. Right. So, and then that's where I would say, this might be something that will make you be uncomfortable, but you are free. You can walk out, you can do whatever you want. This is up to you. Remember, your vision is your purpose. That's what I tell people, and that your vision is your purpose. And then I also give them the analogy of just like you going for your vision at the eye doctor. There's 3 different types. You got the emmetropia, you have farsightedness, and you got presbyopia. You got all of that. So which one are you? I myself, I'm an emmetrope because it means that I'm going to have ideal distance on where I want to see my purpose, but I don't want, I have some little bit correction that I might need a little bit along the way. So your piece might be a little bit of correction that I need. So, we got to open that up. So that's how I put it to that way. I always tell the people there's 3, just remember when you go to that eye doctor to get your yearly exam, or you want to be farsighted, means you see well at a distance, but things up close might be blurry. So boom.
I love that analogy. Look, the only thing I'm going to throw that challenge out there, because I think when I went to the doctor, and this, maybe that's why I was just wide open and say, yeah, help me out. Because when I went to the doctor, I think I had some of everything going on with these eyes. And I told him, one thing I know is I can't wear glasses because these eyes are too big for glasses. And his response to me was, Ms. Washington, not only do you need to wear glasses, but you need to wear them every day, all day. Okay. And I was like, nah, I don't think that's not in the plan. And I still struggle with that. So that needs to be another whole vision board right there, because wearing them glasses every day I'm in denial. I'm in serious denial.
You didn't see that in your future. You wasn't seeing glasses in your future. That wasn't a part of your vision. The way
Not at all. I said God made these eyes really big, and they just don't. Glasses don't fit well on these, but I had to find me some. But what I did was I adjusted to the situation and had to accept what was. And then I went to someone who happened to be a young lady in there who had big eyes like me, and her glasses were so cute. So I said, you know what? Since I got to wear glasses, where'd you get your glasses from? Because if that's what I have to do, then I want them to look like that. So I tried to make it my own, since I was like, I got to wear these things on my eyeballs, and I know I cannot do contacts because fingers do not go in eyeballs as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. You're like me. Hey, I got big eyes, so I had to adjust with it. And
Yep.
I have to, but here's the thing. It goes back to, do you want to see clearly or you want to be blurry?
Oh, okay.
What type of vision? What type of vision do you want to have?
Yeah.
So let's stay on this analogy. Most people are functioning with blurred vision.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why most people are walking in their purpose, because they got blurred vision. They refuse to remove whatever the obstacle is that's keeping them from having that 20/20 vision to see their life in the way they need to. Right. So you really got to decide what's more important to you: having blurred vision or dealing with the issue so that you can have 20/20 vision, so you can have clarity and focus on the things that are important to you.
That's real right there. And I will say, without going any further with this particular area, I will say, based on the state of the world right now, I think we need to be as clear as we can be with what's going on in the world. So yeah, I got work to do. I thought I find out, let me tell you, I'm gonna stay with that same scenario. You find out how clearly you're not seeing things when you don't do what you're supposed to do. So when I don't wear my glasses like I'm supposed to, and once we came home and I'll start working from home, I don't wear my glasses as often because I'm in the house. So it's like I'm not driving, I'm not doing whatever. And then I started to notice when I'm looking at the schedule to see what's coming on TV, I can't see a thing. But that's because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. So for you all that got a little lost with this scenario, because I think this is a perfect bridge, talking about vision and clarity, and this is perfect. And that's a good way to look at it. Because right then when you said that, I was like, oh, this is the way I can look at this. So I'm being real hard-headed right now, because y'all see I don't have my glasses on. But I'm checking myself. I'm doing a self-check right now. I know, right? I was like, I just put myself on Front Street. But before we go any further, I want to go to another commercial break, and then we're going to come back and find out what things you all have coming up, what things you're working on, and all that kind of good stuff. So right after commercial.
What's up, everybody? DSM Media is making our way to you in 2021. We know how important it is for you to share your businesses, events, products, and brands, and we want to help you. We also are going to provide video ads, commercials, social media assistance, and more. Let us help you spread the word. DSM Media at your service.
Welcome back.
I was jamming there. That was good.
Yeah, that was some smooth music, wasn't it? Okay, so y'all, tell me, Michelle, and then we're gonna go down to Tawawn. Tell me about what's going on with you, what you have going on, whether it's vision boards or any other things that you have going on. Tell me what's going on with you.
Well, as you said, next week, Lisa, I'll be doing the Dove Style Magazine team with the vision board. I'm so excited about that. And as personally, it's more core like a creative little thing. So in February the 20th, the book is out. I have this journal that's 52-week sister check journal, but it's actually helping me with my last clinical assignment for next year. I'm looking to start February 20th, looking for 52 women who want to take part of this 52-week journal of doing a sister check journal, which means there is a question that you're going to check on a sister. And we're going to how far we can go out with this group. You know, just checking on a sister, asking her questions once a week, you know, that can make a whole difference. But while we always pouring out to someone else, there also is a weekend self-care plan that you can do, because we don't get enough of that. So it could be 5 minutes, but it's I will and I shall. And you know, it's just a concept. I'm gonna put more information out about that. But that's what a couple of I'm on the platform with you next month. Favor is Fair conference.
Yes.
So
Victoria Hollins event. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And then in March, and then I'm on one with Katrina Reese. There is Victory. So
wow.
So it's moving this year.
And you actually before we move to Tawawn, you actually do some because you mentioned Deep Creek. Are those some things that you have going on where you actually kind of incorporate the vision board thing and you take it out the house? So we're not even gonna go in nobody's house, and we're gonna take it somewhere where we can separate from the work.
We just had an experience, and even though it was COVID, but again, I always have someone clinical, a nurse, whatever. And the experience that we had, I actually had an art therapist come in and do an art therapy session with the women. And we all she gave us one word to say, what direction did you want to go in? Where do you see yourself? What name a direction? So nobody knew what nobody was doing. And then we had to pass our picture on along, and we had to do the interpretation of it. And it was a wow experience. So there are more of those. I actually do host retreats here on the shore. I've been blessed to have a retreat place here at a bed and breakfast here on the lovely waterfront.
Love the Eastern Shore.
I have every year I do a warm your heart, warm your mind, and warm your soul. Because everything, that's just me, up front, mind, body, and soul. Because if one thing ain't right, everything else is not going to be right. So you got to do all of that healing. And I have people come in. We do this kind of thing. That's what we do.
Right.
We make power words, as Tawawn said. We do power words. We affirm something, and that's one of the things about the vision board. You got to make sure that you have those positive words, so that even on one of the questions I asked for the team, describe what affirmation word describes you.
Wow, that's something to think about. Because you might think one thing off the break, and then if you sit there long enough, you like, wait a minute. But then too, you got to be true with yourself, because sometimes you're gonna say the word that you think everybody wants you to say, and then if you're honest, you be like, now they're gonna well. Because I know procrastination with me sometimes. It used to be a beast in my life. It's not as much now, but I swear. Now, once I get into it, but what I did was talk myself into, well, I work last minute. So that's just what I do. And then I figured out, nah, that's not what you do. That's just a hot mess right there. You need to, have a plan and a vision and, make it plain. That's what it is. So I appreciate that. Michelle has a lot of things going on and some other conferences that I'm sure she'll be sharing as we go on, but she's doing some wonderful things. Tawawn, share with us some of the things that you might have going on and coming up, and whether it's vision board or whatever it is.
Okay, well, first, Michelle, I want to say kudos and congratulations on everything, and I would love to be a part of the 52 weeks reaching out to a woman, because that just connects to who I am and what I like to do. So I definitely would like to be a part of that.
Thank you.
There's a lot going on with Tawawn Lowe. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. There's a lot going on with me this year. First, yes, on February 6th, I am having the Vision Board Experience Masterclass, because I'm of the belief that we need to stop waiting to the new year to talk about we're going to start doing things. You can start making change, or you can start achieving whatever goals you want whenever you make up your mind. This is the time. So I'm going to be doing that on February 6th. Have a couple of partners who are going to partner with me. I am looking to collaborate with other people, because I would like to do the biggest vision board masterclass in October to help people to start getting ready for 2022. So that is something that I'm working on, and I'm looking to partner with 10 different businesses so we can bring it all together, because my goal is to empower 1,000 women.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay. Well, I might have to talk to you. Okay.
Me
Okay,
too. Yeah.
he said, I will be today. I was just asked, so I'm super excited to be the keynote speaker for the Single Parents Achievers. I did some workshops, or did a workshop for them, and they were like they loved me so much. They were like, we would like for you to come back and be our keynote speaker.
Wow.
Nobody really knows this, and I've been fighting this, and I just didn't think this was something that was for me. But when I prayed, and God said, you will not. You keep asking me for increase, but you won't use what I give you. So here is TLC Publishing Company. Because people have asked me about publishing books and doing things. I'm like, I don't publish, I don't do that. And somebody said, you do publish your own books, right? You do this. I was like, I don't know that business. I don't want it. I don't want it. Well, I have my first client who will be putting out their book in March. So I'm super excited about that. I have a client. Thank you, who's coming on board to do a cookbook. So, things are shifting a little bit with me and my business, but I still want to stay on the path of empowering people with making plans and getting the things that they want for their life. So, though that's what I'm sticking to. Yes, I'm going to be obedient and do these other things, but that's what's going on me thus far. So the year started off well, and I'm super excited, and I'm just in a different place. So that's
I love it. Well, Tawawn won't tell you this though. I know she talked about she's going to publish a cookbook, but I don't know if she mentioned it's someone else's. But Tawawn can cook, okay? And Tawawn has a cookbook, doesn't Tawawn?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Beyond Takeout. That I'm thinking about resurrecting. Yeah. So.
Yes.
And I forgot to mention this. My tea business took off Christmas. My tea business actually did so well that I'm really trying to figure out how to take it to that next level. That Tea Lover Cafe becomes a well-known name. So Michelle, when you're doing your retreats, I would love to have Tea Lovers Cafe a part of your bag.
Most definitely. Definitely.
So.
I'm gonna shout it out for Tawawn, because Tawawn actually is one of our ads in Dove Style Magazine. So she was one of our sponsors, our corporate sponsors for Dove Style Magazine for 3 months, as a matter of fact. We might have actually kicked in an extra little month for her just because it was amazing. And I have her tea. Look, I was wondering if I kept a little. I might have drank all my tea because I don't hold on to it. But yes, the tea is wonderful. I think even Shariva had asked about some of that tea or mentioned one of those teas. So absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm a tea person too. Oh my God. My mom, if this COVID get over, I'll go back down to, we had a Derby style tea. One year, ladies with the hats down on. You have to look up my page and see it. And we had a good time. We dressed up in our little Derby style hats on the water. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you got my beacons are turning. Y'all gonna get me in trouble. It's like every time you have one of these shows and then you get off here, you like, I done created some more work for myself. But I love it. This is what collaborating and working together and networking is all about.
To do. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. There is so much room for, so much room for, because you know what? You might make tea, but the way you do your tea might not be the special blend that someone else is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's so much out here. If we could just collaborate and stop being so jealous of one another as females. Oh my God.
Absolutely. I love it because we are all doing things that can support one another. So this is a whole circle right here. This is what it's all about. And I'm so glad that we're kicking off the year doing this. Go ahead, Tawawn.
Yeah, I want to say, Michelle, but you know what I have been learning lately? It's not even that people are jealous. People are hurt.
Yes.
And hurt does come with jealousy, but I don't want to call it jealousy. I want to call it hurt, because in this business, especially, and Lisa, you know this, where we're located at, it's so saturated, and people are such crabs in the barrel, and you don't have to be. And I'm going to tell you one of the things I have done. I have come like this. I will only work with certain people in a certain circle, and one of my words this year is collaboration. And can I tell you that I put out something on a post on Monday, I have had literally 10 people reach out to me and say, how can I collaborate with you and bring the Vision Board Masterclass to us? And 2 people in Ghana.
Yep.
All because I'm willing to step outside that fear and that craziness that I experienced and say, you know what?
Right.
Your business will expand living in a vacuum. And my grandmama always said a closed mouth never get fed. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I do think a lot of people are hurt because people have hurt them in things and we never go back sometimes. And I'm this with me and Lisa. We were on board together. We had to make some peace about some things, but we have still stayed connected and worked with each other because we were willing to have the adult conversation and say, hey, this wasn't working. I ain't like what you said to me, and I ain't like what you said to me. But overall, we still like each other and have a friendship and be valued. I think people don't do that.
That's the adult way to handle, because I do agree, Tawawn, that I think sometimes it is hurt because there are a lot of people out here that organically are not, for the betterment of people, and you get caught up because you believe the big picture, and then then your feelings get hurt, and then you're real gun shy about things. But the one thing that you learn with that is it's all part of the journey. And so what I do is, even when I go through things, I take out of that situation, okay, so what did I learn? What did I gain from this that makes me know going forward, this is what I maybe look out for, or this is how I'm going to approach the situation differently. And what it turns into is that you actually, in a lot of situations, you're able to still work with people because it was either misunderstanding or there was something that they might have been in the same boat you were in. But if you have that conversation, then that's what helps you move forward. And I think that's the importance of it. If you talk about it, then people actually realize that what I was thinking wasn't what it was. So now we can move forward, and then we continue, because I know we can continue to support each other, because I truly want to see everybody win. So when I hear you all connecting and I'm hearing something that Tawawn and Michelle said that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. And Tawawn is hearing something and say, okay, I'm gonna hook up with you. And if we all can connect on a platform like this to continue to work together, then this is what it was all about. So I appreciate you all for coming on and kicking off Luncheon with Lisa for 2021. But before we say goodbye and are finished with this, I want Michelle, tell everybody where they can find you and connect with you so they can keep track of what's going on with you and connect and support.
So you can find me at www.upfrontmindbodyandsoul.com. You can also follow me on the social media, which is my personal is Michelle Boulden Hammond. You can connect with me, and through my Instagram at Upfront Mind Body. And just hit me up. I'm here for it, whatever it is. And Tawana, we will definitely be talking.
Absolutely. And Tawawn,
I'm going to find you soon. So you can find me on www.tawawn.com. My Facebook is Tawawn Lowe, Tawawn Space Lowe. I have 2 pages, personal and professional. Go to the professional one. And on Instagram, you can find me under TL _ consultancy. Yeah, I had to remember I had changed it under TL _ Yes, and if you are the Tea Lovers Cafe on Instagram. Yes.
And what I want you ladies to do Lisa, is to leave on Luncheon with Lisa, please share that information so that people can still find you in case they didn't catch it. So definitely post your link on Luncheon with Lisa page. And I also want to remind everybody that Luncheon with Lisa is back for another year. Thank you all who supported me in 2020, and thank you for returning for 2021. And for those who are new to the show, we come on every Thursday, 7 to 8 Eastern Standard Time, and we stream on Facebook and YouTube. So please go over to my YouTube page, Lisa Dove Washington, and subscribe so you can get the information notification when it's time for us to go live. I don't want you to miss a show. And I will just encourage you to do that, because all of my shows, even if it's a Dove Style Magazine exclusive interview, they are all on my YouTube page as well. And I want to let you know that besides Lunching with Lisa, you can also find Lunching with Lisa shows housed on Dove Style Magazine's page as well, because I try to make sure that nobody misses anything. And one of our commercials, if you didn't catch it, Shariva and I have launched a business called DSM Media, where we will help people to be able to advertise on Dove Style Magazine, Lunching with Lisa, even her business, Saving My Pockets. And we create commercials and things to help you get the word out. So please, support DSM Media and allow us to help you to get the word out about what's going on with you. So I want to thank everybody who tuned in. I see Sharon, I see Lisa D. Wilson, Sharon Cooper, Mazel, Doreen, Dr. Jennifer, and more. Please continue to share this and encourage people to have a vision. Or y'all tell me, because I might get it wrong. So what is it that you said, Michelle? Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Before we sign off, give a last word of what you need to do to prepare yourself for 2021.
So what I would say is, you preparing yourself for your vision board or your vision party, make sure your vision is your purpose.
Absolutely. And Tawawn?
Give yourself permission to dream. God gave you an imagination, not to use it in the negative, but in the positive. Dream big. Then once you dream, create that vision board, take action, and get what you desire.
I love it. And you'll also be able to find Lunching with Lisa on podcasts on 7 different platforms, including Spotify, Apple, and Google, with there's Radio Public and more. So please continue to tune in. We hope to bring you some amazing shows. We got more to come. Thank you, Michelle and Tawawn. I appreciate y'all for kicking this year off in a wonderful way. So have a good one.
All right.